Right now at 5, a building in Pittsburgh with historic ties to the African American community is receiving new life. And it is a bit on the cold side this morning, and it's going to be chilly later today. Look at that forecast, get you out the doors coming up. Plus, the annual Apple Butter Making Day celebration was in full swing over the weekend. We're going to take you out to all the fun.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5 a.m. on this Monday, Columbus Day, October the 14th. I'm Chris Warner. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. It was not bad this past weekend with that cold front coming through on Sunday. I don't know about any of you, but I actually did about that much yard work. But it was intensive yard work, okay? There was a lot of lifting and moving going on, and it was a lot of fun, and it was great weather to do it in. And if you didn't and you want to get something done today or really any day this week, it's going to be pretty good out there. But let's first get your day started and get it started the right way with a look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We have got mostly clear skies, got a few clouds here and there, nothing too crazy. Our camera 7th and range line also looking good as well this morning. So we'll head down south to the MoDOT camera at 20th and range line. And it's looking good as well. Then we'll take one more quick stop here. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue just south of Pittsburgh. Also looks pretty good. We got dry conditions out there, but we do have this. This is a freeze watch for our far northern counties. So we're talking Anderson, Coffee, Lynn, and Bates County. This will go into effect tonight and run through Wednesday morning. And that is because, especially up north, it could get downright cold. That's why it's a freeze watch. We're talking temperatures at or below freezing out there. As we head into the afternoon today, it is not going to be a significant warm up. The majority of us will be below normal. We could get close to normal in some of our southern counties, but otherwise not a bad day. A few clouds this afternoon. Outside of that, sunny skies and temperatures are looking great. In fact, they're looking cold right now. Again, comparatively to where we've been the last couple of weeks. 46, both Joplin and Pittsburgh right now. And around the area, temperatures, they look about like this. We've got low, mid, upper 40s. And of course, our southern counties, we do have some low to mid 50s out there. So down here is where it's about normal. Everyone else is upwards of 10 degrees below normal, or 5 to 10 degrees below normal. Kids getting on the bus, clear skies, 46, north winds at about 5 to 10. We're going to hold on to that north wind into the afternoon. Still sunny, 65 when the kids come home. Again, for the majority of us, highs today, mid-upper 60s. Could have a few afternoon clouds. Outside of that, it is an absolutely beautiful looking fall-like day across the area. And this fall-like weather is going to last at least a little while longer. We'll have the full details in your full forecast, and that's coming up here in just a few more minutes. This morning's top stories: a man has been arrested on suspicion of second-degree murder of a man in Crawford County. At about 8:20 on Friday evening, Frontenac Police Department received a 911 call reporting shots fired. 39-year-old Jonathan D. Brewer was located unconscious on the scene. After life-saving measures were attempted, he was pronounced dead. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation says 19-year-old Michael C. Simpson was involved in a dispute with Brewer. Simpson is suspected of shooting Brewer during the altercation and has been booked into the Crawford County Jail. Formal charges against Simpson are pending, and the investigation is still ongoing. Missouri authorities respond to a car that rolled over into a creek. This crash happened around 9 o'clock Sunday night north of Carthage on County Road 120 at Dry Fork Creek. The vehicle was traveling north going highway speeds when it flipped multiple times and landed in the creek bed. There were only 24 inches of water in the creek where the car stopped. Carthage and Jasper Fire responded along with Mercy Ambulance, Jasper County Sheriff, and the Missouri Highway Patrol. And there were 3 occupants in the vehicle at the time of the crash. All 3 were communicating with first responders and were transported to area hospitals. Their injuries are unknown at this time. And the crash is being treated as a DWI investigation. And of course, to be the first to see the latest breaking news, weather, and sports, all you need to do is download the KOAM News app. It's available for free in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, the Apple Butter Making Festival started back in 1967. The festival started as a way for churches to fundraise, and since that day it expanded to attract nonprofits and local businesses. The estimate of attendees this year was around 100,000 people, with more than 400 booths to enjoy.
As the executive director of the chamber, I am the only paid employee in this entire festival. This festival is run by this entire town. This festival is run by the entire community of volunteers who show up and are dedicated and committed, and they're incredibly kind and giving and supportive of one another.
Apple butter makers were set up on the courthouse lawn and offered attendees the chance to help even make the apple butter. And at the Maple Leaf kickoff, the Carthage Humane Society held a dachshund race and a dog show. Winners of the dog show and race all got a gift basket for their dog. The Humane Society also displayed some of their animals that were available for adoption as well.
I need the community to know that we help little critters like this that was dumped. And so we are now taking care of them because somebody dumped them in a parking lot. And this happens a lot. We need help. We need people to help us so that we can take care of all these little animals that we get. You know, there's a handful of people trying to take care of a shelter full of animals.
You can help your local shelter by donating money, food, other supplies, and of course, your time. A historic building in Pittsburgh was cleaned by Pittsburgh State University's Black Student Association. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
Our history is a big thing about us, and obviously we don't want to dwell on the past or the history, but it's so important to appreciate the glimmers of hope that we have within our history and our past.
The Black Student Association from Pittsburgh State University rolled up their sleeves to clean the historic Carver League building in Pittsburgh. The Carver League building was built in 1951 and served as a safe place for black students rejected from campus organizations. It's now considered a historical meeting place for black community members.
Back in the day, it served as a safe place for black people to meet and to have community, and they didn't have to worry about, the police or any of that, or the university.
According to Pittsburgh State University's digital library, the building was in disarray for many years and was almost sold by Crawford County, but not before black PSU alumni Stacy Butcher, Ishmael Elkamil, and Chris Goodwin fought to keep its doors open due to its importance.
I'm actually very surprised that this is here, but I'm also very thankful. I feel like this gives us another opportunity and another level to be able to bring other students into this community and have a sense of home. Because yes, even though Pitt is great, I feel like you always have a different sense when you're with people that are like you, have the same background and the same experiences. So I'm very thankful that we have this building.
The Carver League building will be the new home for the Black Student Association meetings, and the organization plans to hold parties and events at the building in the future. In Pittsburgh, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The Black Student Association's first event in the Carver League building will be an alumni brunch scheduled for next Saturday, October the 19th. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Gorillas and Lions meet on the volleyball court. We'll have those details. Plus, Pope Francis calls for an immediate ceasefire for all conflicts in the Middle East. And we've got a few clouds out there for us today and temperatures below normal. We've got another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Pittsburgh State football goes on the road to Kearney, Nebraska Saturday afternoon after losing to Emporia State a month ago. The Gorillas have won their last two and enter Saturday with a 4-1 record. Pitt State football taking down Nebraska Kearney 20-10 on the road. The win brings Pitt State's record up to 5-1 on the season. Chad Dodson throws for just under 250 yards along with 2 touchdowns. Those were both to Kieran Parchman. And just like we've seen in previous weeks, the Gorilla offense eats up the clock late in the fourth quarter. On its final drive, Pitt State chews up 8 minutes and 47 seconds of game time to bring it to the end of regulation. The Gorillas are at home this week against Fort Hays State. Missouri Southern football was at home Saturday afternoon. It's their third home game of the season and the third time a ranked opponent comes to Joplin. Missouri Southern back on their home field for the second straight week. The Lions haven't beat Emporia State since 2009. So we're going to start in the second quarter That was the Hornets leading 7-3. Chase Rick at quarterback fires down the middle and connects with Tyler Common, and he scores the touchdown to give Emporia State a 14-3 lead. Next drive for the Hornets, Ricky gets rid of the ball quickly, and Trenton Collins stays inbounds to score another touchdown. Hornets up 21-3, looking like they are on cruise control. But Missouri Southern claws back in this game. Under 2 minutes before the half, Chase Ricky's pass is intercepted by Colton Bass, and that gives the Lions some momentum. Under a minute left in the half, Luke Sampson has got plenty of time to throw a perfect pass to his receiver, Draper Parker. Missouri Southern makes it a 2-possession game, down 21-10 at halftime. So we go to the third quarter. Emporia State leading 28-16. Pump fake here by Ricky allows his receiver, Tyler Common, to get wide open, and he goes down into the red zone. A few plays later, Emporia State finishes the drive as Ricky goes back to Tyler Common in the back of the end zone. Emporia State kept the foot on the gas pedal. Hornets beat the Lions 49-30.
Yeah, there's improvement out there. We play in an unforgiving league, and so they're improving as well, and they're good programs. And so it's frustrating, but yes, there are some. We'll turn that film on, and we'll be extremely happy and proud of some of the moments we had.
Pittsburgh State volleyball was at home Saturday afternoon. The Gorillas trying to win their third in a row, taking on Missouri Southern. First set, Ivy Fink elevates and powers that one down for the kill. Gorillas take the opening set 25-12. Southern showing plenty of life. So into the second, Fernanda Marencio splits the defenders and gets the kill. Lions roll 25-9 to even it up at 1 set apiece. In the third, the Lions stay hot. Vix Violet tries for the spike, but Annie Montano gets the block. Lions up 6-1 early, but here come the Gorillas. Same set. And it's going to be Jesse Wallace with the set and Maddie LaPointe spiking it home for the kill. Gorillas come back to win the third set 25-22, and they take the fourth set as well. Pitt State defends its home court 3-1, the final score. To Division I college football, Mizzou on the road at UMass Saturday afternoon. First quarter, second play from scrimmage. They give the end around to Luther Burden, and the All-American wide receiver takes it to the outside, then cuts back to the middle and sprints 61 yards to the house. Tigers leading 7-0. Under 30 seconds left in the half, Mizzou up 21-3. Corey Flagg Jr. reads this pass all the way, picks it off at the 5-yard line, gets on his horse, running it back the other way, and is finally taken down at the 15. That leads to a field goal. Third quarter, Missouri leading 24-3. Marcus Carroll takes the handoff to the outside, stutter steps, and goes in for a 35-yard touchdown. His third touchdown of the game. Missouri leading 31-3. All Tigers in Amherst, they win 45-3 and improve to 5-1 on the season. Well, still to come, we're going to see why the CDC is warning the public about buying medication from online pharmacies. Plus, got another check of the forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 5:18 now on this Monday morning, and I apologize, I misread this earlier. This actually goes into effect tomorrow night through Wednesday morning, but this is a freeze watch for our northern counties out there where temperatures could drop into the upper 20s. That's why it's a freeze watch. We're talking below freezing temperatures, but the colder it is up north, it still is going to be relatively cold down here as well. Let's take a look at the future track. Not much to show over the next few days other than the fact our temperatures will be below normal for at least the next 2 or 3 days. Could have a few afternoon clouds today, and that's really going to be about it. We'll have north winds at around 5 to 10. Now tomorrow, after a chilly start to the day, winds are going to be picking up out of the northeast, and again, a few clouds possible, and these winds out of the northeast could be gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour, and our temperatures, as you saw, aren't going to be very warm. In fact, they're going to be cooler tomorrow than they are today, so some wind chills are definitely going to be something that we'll need to take into consideration. And then take a look at these temperatures as we start the day Wednesday morning. We're talking falling back into the 30s out there. So we wanted the fall-like weather, but now we're going well below normal for these lows and for the highs. Wednesday, it's going to be a little bit warmer across the region than we'll be on Tuesday, but not significantly so, as you can see. And it is going to be, again, a very pleasant week. Let's take a look at temperatures now, though. Pretty chilly, 46. We do have a wind chill, a slight one. 43 is what it feels like in Joplin. North-northeast breeze at about 6 and mostly clear skies. Around the area, of course, a little cooler to the north, warmer to the south. So we've got the low, mid, and upper 40s. And we've even got some low to mid 50s in our southern counties. So you guys are about at average, or at least very close to. The rest of us a few degrees off pace for normal for this time of year. We'll have sunny skies through the morning. Temperatures, again, a chilly start, mid 40s out there, and only into the upper 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. And as we head into the afternoon, our highs today, mid and upper 60s, maybe a couple of low 70s. Either way, put it, we're either at or just a bit below normal. And again, a few clouds possible as we head into the early afternoon hours. Into this evening, skies will remain clear. And of course, the clouds, if we had cloudy skies, they act as a bit of a blanket. They keep some of the warmer air in. There will be no blanket tonight, but you'll want yours for sure as we fall back into the upper 30s and low 40s across the region. So another pretty chilly night. How long does this nice weather last? Well, for at least a little while. Again, low 60s tomorrow, mid 60s Wednesday, low 70s Thursday, partly cloudy skies. Then we start warming up heading into the weekend. I know we've got the Maple Leaf Parade this Saturday. It's looking to be pretty good. The system that we're watching this weekend has been pushed back by a day. So instead of it raining on Saturday, instead of raining on our parade, it looks to rain on Sunday, but still pretty warm, and we'll be into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees as we head into the weekend and next week, with some additional rain chances possible by next Tuesday out there. So enjoy these nice temperatures. It's going to be pretty decent for a while. That is a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Topping Health Watch this morning, U.S. officials are warning the nation about the rise of illegal online pharmacies. The Drug Enforcement Agency issued a public safety report about outlets selling fake or counterfeit medications. Agents say these typically foreign companies usually have generic names like pharmacystoresonline.com or orderpainkillersonline.com. According to the DEA, the drugs sold are often not from reputable pharmaceutical giants, but rather from drug traffickers. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says these companies often sell their products at prices that really are too good to be true. And taking these products could be harmful or potentially fatal. The Justice Department recently announced criminal charges against 18 defendants who are accused of operating fake online pharmacies. There are many dangers COVID-19 can pose to a person, but a new study suggests the virus can have a significant impact on heart and brain health for years after infection. Mandy Gaither has a look at the data and explains why researchers say everyone who's had COVID-19 should be aware.
In 2020, before vaccines were available, people who caught COVID-19 had twice the risk of a major cardiovascular problem like heart attack or stroke as those who didn't test positive, according to a new study.
What was also surprising is that the extent of that risk did not show any sign of diminishing or attenuation with time.
Dr. Stanley Hazen with Cleveland Clinic is co-senior study author. He says those risks in medical records studied stayed up to 3 years after infection, and those who had been hospitalized with severe illness from the virus were at even greater risk for heart problems.
That is, if similar to the risk of someone who had one heart attack and what their risk for having a second heart attack was.
Hazen says the risk also varied on blood type. Researchers say people with certain non-O blood types like A or B are already at higher risk of cardiovascular diseases, but the study found those with O-type blood who were hospitalized for COVID didn't have quite as high of a risk of heart attack or stroke. While the study did not look at the effects of vaccination on cardiovascular risk, Hazen says since the severity of the COVID-19 infection is linked to long-term cardiac risk, getting protected from COVID-19 through vaccination is critical.
If you have had COVID, I suggest think about heart disease and getting your cholesterol checked and your blood pressure checked.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Hazen says the researchers only studied older adults, but he says there's reason to believe they'd see the same results in younger people who have had a history of COVID-19. Let's look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News, and if you're getting ready to head outside, grab a jacket. It is a bit on the cold side this morning. A very fall-like day for us. The latest on your forecast when we come back. Right now at 5:30, an organization in Joplin puts on a fundraiser for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Plus, it is a bit on the cold side this morning, and we've got a very fall-like day ahead of us. So look at that forecast. Get you out the door is right around the corner. And volunteers in Pittsburgh putting forth their best efforts to spruce up neighborhoods around town.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:30 and about 7 seconds. I'm Chris Warner. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Columbus Day Monday. It is October the 14th. We are almost halfway through the month of October, and up until this weekend, it has not felt like October. It has felt a lot more like late September out there, but we are starting to see some cooler temperatures. In fact, if you haven't been outside yet, let me give you the advice right now. You're going to want to grab a jacket because it is cold. And you may actually need that jacket depending on what your tolerance for the cool weather is later this afternoon. We'll talk about that right now, starting though with a look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We've had just a couple of clouds here and there. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly clear skies. We've got a pretty good start to the day, except for those temperatures being a little chilly. Our camera 7th and range line also looking pretty good this morning, so we'll head south to the MoDOT camera located at 20th and range line. It is looking back still to the south and west, and it is looking good too this morning. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue, of course, just south of Pittsburgh. We do have a freeze watch. Now, earlier, if you were with us, I misread it. It's on me. It's early in the morning. I've not even finished the first cup of coffee, but this goes into effect tomorrow evening through Wednesday morning. Not tonight, but tomorrow morning through Wednesday evening. Or sorry, tomorrow evening through coffee. Something we need. Anyway, it's there because we could see in those northern counties temperatures into the upper 20s Tuesday night. As for today, though, it is a slow warm-up. A few afternoon clouds outside of that, clear skies, and our temperatures for the majority of us will be below normal as we head into the afternoon. Below normal to start, sitting at 46 in Joplin as well as Pittsburgh. Our southern counties a little bit on the warmer side, where we're sitting into the low to mid 50s, but the rest of us low, mid, upper 40s. And take a look at Stockton now, down to 39 degrees. Kids getting on the bus this morning, they can expect clear skies and jacket weather, mid 40s out there, north breeze 5 to 10. And as they come home, a little bit better, mid 60s, sunny skies, still holding on to that north breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Our highs today heading into the mid to upper 60s out there. And again, a stray afternoon cloud or two will be possible. Otherwise, a beautiful day. We're going to have beautiful days for the next few days. We'll talk about that and how things are looking for the upcoming Maple Leaf Parade here in just a few more minutes. Now, switching to today's top stories, the Pittsburgh Neighborhood Advisory Council, along with other organizations like Pittsburgh Beautiful and Pet Sense, are cleaning up neighborhoods in Pittsburgh. The first fall spruce up event took place at the 700 and 800 blocks of North Schlanger Park. Volunteers did things like cutting and hauling tree limbs, picking up trash and other junk left behind, as well as sorting them into piles.
Favorite part about today is just meeting all the different people and all the different groups that are here that are able to collab today. It's really nice to see them coming from different neighborhoods in different areas of Pittsburgh coming together to make it better for everybody.
This is just the first neighborhood to be cleaned up, and there will be more down the road. The Girard Fall Festival went on Saturday in the town's historic square. The Fall Festival not only serves as a get-together for the community, but also as a celebration for Girard schools. Senior classes of past years congregate to have their class reunions in the square every year. Not only that, the present senior class hosts events like a cake auction to help raise money for their senior trips.
Absolute best part of today is having all the community come together to create this event. So we connect with the high school as far as having our seniors come in for homecoming. We have all of our groups that are involved in the high school come out and are involved in the parade, and we have booths set up all over the place. So between churches and groups at the school, we really have a community gathering, and that's the best part.
The event was the 71st year of the Girard Fall Festival and Homecoming. The city of Quapaw used to be known as the hay capital of the United States, and to celebrate that legacy, the Quapaw Community Boosters held their annual Hay Days on Saturday. Community Boosters helped Quapaw teachers get classroom grants, among other things. More than $1,500 in cash prizes were handed out. There were boat races, sack races, a pie eating contest, and more.
They can just see a lot of laughs and a lot of kids running around, lots of crafts, lots of food, and a lot of their neighbors.
Quapaw Hay Days got started just around 35 years ago. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and a local wellness center is joining forces with sponsors and vendors to raise money for those affected. La Basole in Joplin held a fundraiser to support a local nonprofit cancer organization. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
Whenever you're diagnosed, like to say that the wind is taken out of your sail is probably an understatement.
According to the National Breast Cancer Foundation, about 1 out of every 8 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime, many times without any pre-existing factors. La Boussole, a day spa and medical wellness center in Joplin, held a fundraiser supporting nonprofit cancer organizations. The reason for the fundraiser? An employee from the spa had her own battle with breast cancer.
In 2019, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. At the time, I had a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 15-year-old. I started chemo pretty much right away. I was stage 3 whenever I was diagnosed. It's unspeakable, the love and the outpour that people are willing to do for you, and it's so appreciated.
Hope for You and the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks accepted donations from sponsors and vendors that will be given to patients battling the disease. The fundraiser's purpose is to uplift those with breast cancer and to celebrate those who have beat it.
So our massage therapist, Elizabeth, she is a survivor of breast cancer. She's 5 years out, and she came to us and said, hey, let's do something for the community for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and we thought it was a great idea. It started small, but it snowballed into this big event. Like I said, there's vendors have come out, photographer, Botox. We're doing a bake sale. We've got Mercy here with the Mercy mammogram bus that's taking appointments. Lots of stuff going on to support her and to support other people in the community that battle cancer.
A permanent jewelry booth, wig booth, and Chick-fil-A were just some of the vendors raising money on site at the event. With October ringing in Breast Cancer Awareness Month, La Boussole's main goal for this fundraiser is to support and advocate for women and men affected by this disease. In Joplin, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
La Boussole also announced the winner of a $4,000 wellness package at the fundraiser. Let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. At least one person is dead and many are injured after a passenger train crashes in Egypt. Plus, Israel continues attacks after Hezbollah rockets targeted the city of Haifa. We'll have the latest on that. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch this morning, a locomotive crashed into a Cairo-bound passenger train yesterday, killing at least one person and injuring 21 others. The collision happening around 160 miles south of Cairo. 19 of those injured have been discharged from the hospital after they were treated. Train crashes and derailments are common in Egypt. Last month, at least 3 people died after 2 passenger trains crashed in a Nile Delta city. The government has announced initiatives to improve the railways in recent years. The cause of the crash is being investigated. Pope Francis calls for an immediate ceasefire for all conflicts in the Middle East Sunday while speaking in St. Peter's Square. The pontiff saying he hopes the wars and suffering will soon come to an end while delivering his Angelus prayer from the balcony. He says he is praying for the victims and feels close to all people involved in Palestine, Israel, and Lebanon. He is also urging Russia to stop strikes against the civilian population in Ukraine and asked the group to keep the people of Haiti in their prayers. The U.S. will send a sophisticated missile defense system to the Middle East. This as Hezbollah claims responsibility for a drone attack that injured nearly 70 people in central Israel. Meanwhile, the IDF is ramping up its operations in southern Lebanon. Greg Palcott is in Haifa, Israel, with more.
A lot of developments in the war zone here tonight, some deadly, some involving the U.S. We watched a short while ago as Hezbollah rockets targeted the city where we are, Haifa, about 17 miles from Lebanon. Wave after wave of projectiles were intercepted by Israeli Iron Dome defense missiles. You could see the streaks in the skies, the blasts from the concussions, debris fell, but no injuries or damage so far reported. But there is huge trouble further down the coast. According to the IDF, an explosive drone launched by Hezbollah hit an Israeli military base near the town of Binyamina. The military said 4 soldiers were killed, 7 were severely injured, reportedly a total of 67 hurt. It's being described here as an unprecedented attack deep inside the country, as the casualties were medevaced out to several hospitals. This is Benjamin Netanyahu met with his cabinet on this day, no doubt discussing how to respond to that massive barrage of Iranian ballistic missiles earlier this month. Military and security bases in Iran at least could be in the line of fire. In anticipation of further Iranian retaliation, the Pentagon confirming today it is sending a THAAD, or Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System, to Israel. Operating this sophisticated piece of gear, some 100 U.S. soldiers. No word on when they will arrive, but this would be the first time American troops were deployed on the ground here in Israel during this long war. As the Israeli ground war waged against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon rages on. More Israeli units entered today, more towns facing evacuation. Israel claims to have killed militants and found weapon stores. It's not been easy, though. 28 Israeli soldiers were injured there. And there's no let-up in fighting by Israel against Hamas in Gaza. It's continuing operation in a full-scale evacuation of civilians from the northern part of the Strip as Israel stretches itself far and the war widens.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 5:46 on this Monday morning, and we are starting with this. This is a freeze watch that goes into effect tomorrow evening and runs through Wednesday morning for some of our northern counties where low temperatures this far north could fall into the upper 20s in the coming days. We're going to talk about how cold it's going to get down here for the rest of us as well, and we're going to do that with the future track. Now for today, we are dry. We could have a couple of clouds early this afternoon, maybe late morning out there. Outside of that, sunny skies, and for most of us, temperatures below normal. We should be in the low 70s, so our southern counties are already warmer this morning, and you may actually reach about average, but that's not bad. We'll have a north breeze around 5 to 10. Pretty decent day out there. Winds shift out of the east overnight, and then as we head into our Tuesday, the winds will begin to shift out of the northeast, and they're going to be blowing upwards of 10 to 20 miles an hour. Look at those wind arrows go with gusts upwards of 30 miles an hour, maybe even a pinch higher than that. Could have a few clouds, and take a look at the noon hour temperatures for Tuesday. Look at those. That's a lot of upper 50s. Tuesday is going to be cooler than today, which is why Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we are going to be colder out there. Take a look at these low temperatures. Look at them falling down here as we head into Wednesday morning. We're talking about starting the day in the mid to upper 30s, and we should be in the 40s. So we're not significantly cooler. It's not like last week where we were 20, 25 degrees above normal with temperatures. We're not going to be 20, 25 degrees below normal out there, but we will be a bit on the cold side. Now, Wednesday looks to be maybe a pinch warmer, but it will take some time to warm up. Take a look at noon on Wednesday. Upper 40s across the area for most of us. A very cold day for October. But again, compared to the last couple of weeks, it's not bad. It's certainly been hotter out there, and it's about time it starts to feel like October. Sitting at 46 in Joplin, a very slight wind chill of 43 with that north-northeast wind at around 6 miles an hour. Across the area, of course, it's colder up north, warmer down south, so we've got low, mid, and upper 40s for most of us, and as you head a little further south, you start to heat up a little more, warm up a little more. You're into the low 50s down in our southern counties. So again, all in all, not a bad start to the day. Bit chilly for most of of us, mid-40s, sunny skies. Clear skies continue, upper 50s by around 11 o'clock, and that's ahead of our highs today, mid-upper 60s on average for the majority of us. And again, a few afternoon clouds will be possible, but otherwise skies will be clear. We'll have clear skies through this evening into the overnight, upper 50s by 10, low 40s overnight tonight, maybe even a couple of upper 30-degree readings. And these fall-like temperatures continue for a while. Low 60s tomorrow, maybe even some upper 50s. Mid-60s Wednesday, low 70s Thursday, so a little warmer, but still close to normal. And then as we head into the weekend, we have the Maple Leaf Parade on Saturday. We're looking so far to be good. That system that we've been watching this weekend for the last 2 or 3 weeks now is still there, but it's been moved back to Sunday. Either way, still a few showers possible on Sunday. Temperatures remaining warm, though, upper 70s, near 80 degrees. So this fall-like weather is short-lived with some additional shower chances next Tuesday. That is a check of your forecast. We will be back with more right after this. One boy is using his passion for spooky season to raise money for a good cause. Patrick Cornell has that story and more. And take a look at this.
Check out this massive kid-created Halloween display, a full-on holiday horror house filled with the favorites: smoking ghouls, scary clowns, and shrieking scarecrows. All this work done by 12-year-old Braden Willis of Smithfield, Rhode Island. Braden says he's been putting up Halloween horrors most of his life, and this year he's got 50 full-sized chilling creatures around his family home, where he gives daily tours to tout the eerie exhibit. This super cool creation isn't a trick, but rather a treat. Braden has autism and uses this array of spooky spectacles to raise money for autism awareness.
When you come in person, you can make a donation to this purple box right here, which has lights on it that aren't turned on. You'll see the sign down below, which tells you that that's the Autism Speaks donation.
How about some more Halloween treats? Just a good old assortment of animals chowing down on juicy jack-o'-lanterns at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago. This bear breaking open a swinging sweet to get the goodness inside that gourd. A hippo hankering for a heavenly piece of that pumpkin. Oh hey, this primate got a mini morsel to munch on. Perfect size for a low-calorie option. All in all, it looks like a well-fed group as Halloween festivities get underway. Speaking of snacks, college kids are now getting them delivered via robots? Where was this when I was in school? At the University of Minnesota, these six-wheel wonders from Starship Technologies are loaded up with food from select vendors. Then the robots ramble right across campus to complete the delivery. Students just order via an app and voila, the cuisine is carted right to them. The service is so popular, more robots are on the way to meet demand. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Well, I think the reason we didn't have robots when we were younger is because when we were younger, we had like the Apple II, and I don't think it could have been self-autonomous by any means. We will have another look at your forecast, a couple more fun stories for you right after this. Well, the United Kingdom's Hertfordshire Zoo welcomes its 2 new African penguin chicks, naming them after 2 famous British rockers. The baby birds, named Liam and Noel after the members in the band Oasis, are already showing signs of energetic and mischievous behavior. Born in August, the chicks are already thriving and growing better than expected. Hertfordshire Zoo works with a conservation charity in Africa that aims to protect the endangered species of African penguins. Visitors can now see the 2 chicks at the zoo as Liam and Noel start to explore life outside their nests. In Maine, a bunch of card-carrying members of a competitive sport love to poke at social propriety. And these people love wife-carrying. Okay, more than 30 couples competed in the annual North American Wife Carrying Championship in Newry, Maine, Saturday. The sporting event had husbands hoisting their wives on their shoulders, then splashing, jumping, grunting, and groaning at about 278 yards. Competing couples don't have to be married and technically don't need to be a man and a woman, but they do need to be hale and hearty, withstand nasty spills, looking awkward, and just enjoy a tradition that dates back to the 19th century in Finland. I know that there's not a lot to do in the great state of Maine, so whatever it takes to fill your time, I suppose, is what you do. That's certainly an interesting competition. I don't even want to know. All right, let's talk about some cold weather that we've got across the area this morning. We're going to start our day in the mid-40s by 8, sunny skies, upper 50s by 11 o'clock. Temperatures for the majority of us below normal. We'll go into the mid-upper 60s, a few clouds early this afternoon. Otherwise, again, clear skies. Clear skies will persist into the evening hours as well, down to the low 50s by 10. Overnight lows tonight, low 40s, maybe even a couple of upper 30s out there. Cool weather continues tomorrow. In fact, it'll be colder and breezy tomorrow. Northeast winds gusting upwards of about 30 miles an hour and into the low 60s, maybe even just some upper 50s. Down at or slightly below freezing Tuesday night into Wednesday. Still not bad heading into Thursday. We'll heat up a bit heading into the weekend with some rain chances Sunday and Tuesday. That is a check of your forecast. We are having so much fun that we're going to do a whole nother hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.